I was going to do this because I needed a break, and I was going to do this out in the living room. Oh, shoot, a second. There we go. Out in the living room. So, and then I realized my computer's in the bedroom, and so I'm like, shit. I don't feel like unplugging this and getting it all back. So now I'm coming back in here so we can finish up our conversation because I worked, and now I need another break. And so that's where we're at. So give me a second so I can plop my big old booty in freaking bed again. Okay. We got work, right? I needed a break. And so I was in the chat room. Let me get you guys all set up. Can you guys? I look like crap today. Sorry for looking so bad today. I just, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I got nobody to doll up for. You know what I'm saying? A neighbor, he reached out to me. He's like, I'm going to the Moose because, he's a veteran. And he goes, I'm going to the Moose. They have free food for veterans and stuff like that today. And I'm like, yeah, I got to work. It's nice to see you guys. Oh, thank you. Well, my shows usually aren't from bed. Be honest with you. This is kind of a new thing in the last 3 months, since I've been down like 4 flat tires. Usually I have a little more happening. But, I don't even want to go in my office. It's like I look at my office, I'm freaking depressed. Like, I guess it's a change of scenery, but now that it's a pain in the ass because I got to go into the office and I got to bring the office in here because I work in here, because I can't sit in that chair freaking 8 to 10 hours. I can sit on this comfortable bed with pillows and my back bothers me. Just lean back, watch some TV, I'm glad you like my show, Barbie, but usually it's not from here. I gotta be honest with you. So, let me get back to this. Like I said, I was going to go live and I was just going to, but we're in kind of in the middle of a conversation, so we want to continue down the conversation. For those that weren't here, you'll probably want to go back to the earlier live. Where the hell is it? Oh, this is it. The earlier live we did on this channel. I'm keeping this conversation on this channel. I'm not changing the channel from Crime Stories because we were in the middle of Dutch's interview. So you guys know we've been covering the case of Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old boy that disappeared from Hendersonville. Well, like literally his bed, his inside a locked home, locked windows, locked doors, inside his home, he disappeared. Poof, gone, right? And parents been acting really, the reason why the parents are coming under heavy fire right now is because they ain't doing nothing. It's not because we're being big old meanies. I mean, we could be big old meanies if we want to. I mean, I believe we got it in us if we really just wanted to pick on somebody. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like that. What is this? Ugh, why does it always have that one right there? Okay, sorry guys. And so, we're not picking on them just to pick on them. We're literally, they acting weird. They haven't been to, like a telltale sign is vigils. Like, they haven't even gone to vigils. Oh, P.S., it's nice to see you. It's evening. Good evening. It's good afternoon for us. It's like 3:32 in the afternoon. Oh, we got some people from around the country. Oh, it's nice. Or around the world. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice. By the way, for all the Americans out there, I don't know if anybody else celebrates Memorial Day. I think it's an American holiday. But for all the people that have served, I mean, and quite frankly, anybody that serves for their country, But for ours, we have a Memorial Day to remember them and pay, honor with a lot of beer and steak and hot dogs and hamburgers and sometimes fireworks. Quite interesting. Actually, every year this time, right after Memorial Day, I used to go to Jenny Springs. I stopped doing that, but I think maybe next year we'll start going back out there. The only thing I don't like is now that I'm like all techie and stuff, it drives me nuts when I don't have internet. Like completely unplugging. I don't know if I could literally completely unplug. I don't know I think I would be absolutely utterly miserable if I had to completely unplug. And that's the problem. All right, so let's get back on with it. For those that are just tuning in, we are covering Sebastian Rogers. Last night, most of us were watching the Chris McDonough interview room. And in that interview room, Steve Johnson was there, and he is a behavior or speech forensic guy. He's really smart. He knows his stuff. He does this stuff for a living, and he's listening to their behaviors, how they sound, how they're answering questions, things like that. And one of the statements Steve had made is that the reason why he was using the green shirt interview is because that was one of the newest interviews, like the earliest interviews, I should say, the earliest on interviews that he could find, because he wanted an interview that was the least amount contaminated. And so I remembered the list that was on one of the sites that Facebook groups, and I remember downloading it, and it had one of the very first interviews he did. Now, I don't know if he did anyone before Duchess, but we're on the very first one he did with Duchess, and this is their story. And so far, one of the things that we've learned that has changed is that Katie stated up front she actually fell asleep from 9 to 10. And that's the first time because I never watched this interview. So that's the first time I heard one of the earliest interviews. And I'm like, and I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Like, it's changed. Her story has really changed from this version here. So I'm going to back it up at just about 3 minutes. Where are we right now? We're at 40. So let me bring it down to 30. I'm going to back it up about 4 minutes. About 4 minutes, just so everybody that's here can hear what we were listening to. Hey, Pebbles, it's nice to see you. Did I have any other mods in here I missed? Hey, everybody that's joining us. So we're just going to start with where we left off on the last live. We're going to go about an hour on this one, and then I've got to go back to my real life paperwork. But this is just helping me take a break from the paperwork I'm doing, as well as keep the conversation about Sebastian and learning what was said early on in this investigation to help gauge where we are today. Okay? And so the camera's going to stay on me because there's nothing really to see on the screen. They have emojis. They didn't show their face. A lot of the same stuff that we're accustomed to when it comes to Chris and Katie currently in today.
We have not been able to go. Let's put it that way.
Right. Darky, thank you for being a member for 6 months. All of this is very, very helpful to help us, better understand the situation that we're dealing with. I see a post on Facebook that it looked like everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys saw that there was somebody that came into my chat that was purportedly being Chris Proudfoot. Now, the account was old enough that it wasn't newly built like a troll account would, so it does give me a little more weight that I do believe it was Chris in here, and I've heard him threaten to sue people before. So I kind of have a strong suspicion that it truly was the the real Christopher Proudfoot, but there's always that possibility that it could have been like a troll or somebody just trying to trigger a situation or something like that, and that does happen. All right, so let's get back to this. We're going to just be listening to one of these first interviews, listen to the changes in their story. We've already found a few of them. I wish we could have done this in all one sitting. For those that are only coming in here in the middle of this, I ask that you go back and watch the first live for today on this channel, and it'll help you bring you up to where we are on this one. But you can listen to this one, and once you listen to that one, it should kind of dovetail in to everything.
Everybody was asked to wear green on Friday because green is Sebastian's favorite color. What else can you tell us about Sebastian?
He's an avid Minecraft fan. Loves the color green. It's got the goofiest and quirky smile in the world.
Oh,
I don't think anybody could mimic it, to be honest with you.
He looks like he's such a sweet young man. He
Loves to dance. That boy he'll dance his tail off.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Dancing is good for you. It's good.
I don't want to play this while I step away. But I think I left my vape in the kitchen or something because I don't have it right here. At least I don't see it right here. And I had to come back in here. It might be next to where I was going to set up to do this live and realized my computer was back here, and so just decided to go back here. So just give me just a second. Let me go find my vape and I'll be right back. But I don't want to play it because if I play it, then I'll miss something. Well, that's just great. I think I lost my vape. So we'll just roll through without it. Unless it's, oh, there it is. It's already in the room. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get back to professionalism, okay? As I work from Bedhead Betty, there's a reason why I have that name. Let's listen.
Exercise too. I just really hope they can find some answers. Now, I did ask you guys because, I know that sometimes when we're looking for autistic children that go missing, a lot of times people are concerned that they may be attracted to go towards the water. So talk to us about that. Is he a good swimmer? Does he like to get in the water? I think you did mention some things about that to me earlier.
So this was kind of weird because early on in the investigation, Katie indicated to law enforcement that Sebastian was kind of attracted to water. But the weird thing is that's how it was couched to law enforcement, but Seth had told us that Sebastian was a good swimmer. And you need to listen to how Chris kind of takes over this portion of the conversation and how he starts talking about it. And it leads me right back to why the many, many, many reasons I don't believe that this child walked out of the door.
So he's a fish in the water. I'm gonna tell you right now that but here's the distinction. He is not a child that likes to get dirty. He can't stand his hands dirty. He can't stand bugs. He is fearful.
Can't stand being dirty. Can't stand bugs. He's fearful, he says. Fearful. Yet he walks out in the middle of the night with no shoes on in the freezing cold with literally nothing.
Of flies and things. So if he swims, he is a pool kid. He's not I'm a river and a stream kind of kid. He is swimming pool bound.
Misty says, I'm a hella late. Oh, no, you're at work. We're just now getting started. I had to go find my vape. We had to catch up. So we are literally just getting started, and I just rewound it. I think you were here for the first one, so you should be good. Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I'm just taking another break, so this is going to be another hour tour, and then we'll break, and I'll probably come back here one last time for the day to finish this up later. If we can sit through it for one sitting, then we will. But if we have to break it up into another one, we'll get it all done today, though. We'll get all three parts done today.
Discovering the truth, I'm sure that they are probably looking into that. Now, I know that you said there was some misinformation that was going around, and you wanted to make a clarification. You did tell me that TBI, was assisting, but that there was some confusion. People thought that FBI was actually assisting in this case.
This is for all the people that believe that because I tried to explain the role of the FBI in this case, and some people didn't quite understand it. And so I think that they do explain the role of the FBI really well here. It's not much, okay? They provided resources. They provided computer work and maybe some forensic stuff, lab stuff, things of that nature. But according to Chris, and you're going to hear it yourself, that they didn't, at least at this time, didn't even have an FBI boots on the ground at location. It was all done over the phone and through the internet.
Case, talk to me about what you spoke about earlier to me on our phone call about how FBI is, that they were consulted, and the card team, I guess there is a discussion going on as to whether he qualifies, as, for the child abduction response team.
I don't think did he qualify for that? Because I don't remember hearing the CART team on ground out there. Did they have it on ground out there after he was upgraded to an Amber Alert? Did they have the team out there? Does anybody know? Do you guys recall it all? Because I don't remember hearing whether they were out there in this case or not. I know for a fact they were in the Summer Wells case. But were they out there for Sebastian Rogers? I'm not sure. So I'll wait to see what some of my audience members say. I would trust the audience members, not me. I pray there's a break in the case. Me too, Misty. Me either. Pick up his fifth wheel camper. Yeah, he did that later. I wonder if they get into that in this conversation. Maybe he'll hone in on a date and a time.
So the FBI is not physically on the ground. Somewhere in one of the news clips, I think it was reported that the FBI had made it on the ground. They're not. TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, has reached out to the behavioral analysis team, or their CART team, and they are trying to work with them from a distance. They're not physically present.
So FBI at this time, in this stage of the process, the FBI wasn't physically on the ground. Now, I don't know if the FBI ever physically went to that area or location. They were thanked in a press conference, but they were still a resource, so they would have been thanked whether they were there personally or not. So I don't know. I think KNC will look good in those. Oh, yeah, I know. Hi, Ricardo. Hey, 357. It's nice to see you.
To help in any way, form, shape that they can, render their assistance.
Okay. Light and Sound, thank you for being here. Have burner phones been looked into? I know some teens sneak phones from their parents, or maybe his computer use at school to see if he has been chatting.
Evidence of a secret phone?
Okay, good. Good.
We don't have any evidence of a secret phone. That's why I need to see their face. That to me, that sounded completely off base from just the comments she made earlier. I don't know.
Because digital evidence is really important. They want to make sure that he's not speaking to anybody. This is such an unusual case.
This case is extremely unusual. Like I said before, we are pretty strict when it comes to certain things.
I said this in my earlier chat, and some of you guys were here in the earlier chat. But I want you. He's starting to talk about how strict he is. I don't think his type of punishment for me personally, and him having an autistic child in his home, was appropriate. So if you feel that this was over, this is not strict. This was well over being strict. Or if you think he was just a normal strict parent just doing his best, put a 2. If you don't, put a 1.
As far as comms, communication, electronic devices, there was only one phone that he had. It was extremely locked down. He had access to his phone, his text message, to only his contacts list, a camera, and a calculator, and that is it.
He's a pretty happy kid usually.
He's a pretty happy kid usually. Why did she have to stick that in there? That was an odd place for her to stick that in, don't you think? Listen to that. Let's go back 5 seconds. He's talking about apps on his phone, and she sticks in, he's a happy kid usually. Why did she do that? It was a weird placement.
And that is it.
He's a pretty happy kid usually.
What did that have to do with the
like
apps
it.
on
and
his
I know
phone?
that you love him very much. I know that you.
What did that have to do with the question at hand related to the cell phone having a burner phone? It's weird.
I can remember earlier in our conversation, you were referring to him as Bubba, and I think
That's what I
that's sweet.
That's what
I
I
call my
call him.
son Bubba also, so that really tore at my heartstrings because my son, he's 30, but he's still Bubba to me. So it just, that name is going to stick forever. It's just how it is. Cindy Caton, thank you for being here. She says, are there any old wells that maybe he accidentally fell in, or any areas or mines that he might be at risk of coming in contact with? I know
That's a good
sometimes those
question.
things occur out in Tennessee. The divers, have they found any possible leads? I know that I heard that there was a possible pond that they were draining. You did tell me they were searching all of the pipes.
Yes. So when it comes,
So I want to tell you this. So this is like this interview was released. It looks like it is a live broadcast. Yes, it is a live broadcast, and it was done March 3rd. For those that want to calculate, so what, 6 days? I kept saying 4 days, but it's more in line with 6 days. It looks like it was about a couple days before they went on their local news. But they're at this point, they're already starting to drain ponds and search the pipes. I know many people asked if the pipes had been searched. It sounds like they have. So I'm just going to back it up 5 seconds and we'll re-listen.
Tell me they were searching all of the pipes.
yes. So when it comes to address her question as far as wells and things, I'm sure there's plenty of those around here.
They're searching them.
They actually pulled data for all the caves, underground voids, all of that stuff that could be accessible. They brought in teams from all over the state that specialize in either cave explorations, water recovery rescues. We don't know that they have drained a pond. I can say that much, but they have searched.
Them.
We did hear that the retention pond was drained. I think that did come from law enforcement, so maybe he was unclear about that at this stage. But I think we've got that corroborated from a reliable source. I think it was corroborated directly from law enforcement at this point, but I'm almost positive that be the case. Bad Betty, no Coca-Cola. It's cherry and it's sugar free. It's sugar free. I'm allowed to have sugar free. Oh, thank you, Don. God bless you. I'm allowed to have sugar free. I know I don't like soda, but you know it's been rough. I've been here. I have to order quick stuff that they can deliver to my house easy. So water and soda and coffee. That's like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll get out of the habit. I know it's got to be bad for my health.
They've dived them all for sure. They've walked, I couldn't tell you how many miles of creeks and waterways, and they've used cameras. The sewers.
So they say that. So Me Too says that EquiSearch says that there's a lake that has not yet been searched, but they won't disclose it. I hope they got that pond behind Beach Market. You know, because there's like this pond right by Beach Market, and it looks like it's got tall grass or shrubbery, and it looks like it's got a path that goes right back there to a body of water. Now, how deep that water is it still full of water? I don't know, but it looks like a good place that is secluded that somebody could sneak back there at night. Personally speaking, when I was looking at the maps, I don't know where they've searched. When I get out there, will law enforcement speak to me? I really don't know. Will they be willing to at least, tell me what areas of the map not to worry about? I don't know. I'll definitely try. That's for sure.
It's not really the sewers they're looking in. It's the drainage pipes.
They're looking in drainage pipes. They're looking in ponds. This is at day 6. Guys, at day... Wow.
So that's for clarification. Sewer pipes, we're not going to find a child in. Those are enclosed and secured. But the runoff, water runoffs were all searched by a dive team.
Okay. And I know Ginger Snap said as law enforcement looking into the possibility that he met a friend through Minecraft. I hope that they would just go ahead and vet all of that just to make sure, because you never know. I'm not really sure how all of that works because I'm not a gamer, but I know that there are ways that you can communicate like via Xbox because my son is a gamer. So
I don't know any of that.
and Gabrielle, I believe that you guys were at the Costco on Saturday. That's when you took the picture of him, correct?
Yes.
It's weird. I see one down here that says absolute. Oh, that's because I got a pen. That's why it's like that. I hope YouTube's not stealing your comments. Okay, Betty's Coca-Cola alone. Ruffled feather shawl. Don't be taking my damn soda. Putting you in timeout. Put him in timeout. Just joking. I'm just joking. Sorry, I thought you meant the retention pond. I think they did drain it, but at this time, this is an old interview. This is one of the first interviews, and I think he was unclear at that time whether they had drained the pond, but I'm pretty sure that retention pond, they said they walked it, that they drained it and they walked it, and I'm pretty sure that came directly from law enforcement. I'm not never 100% sure, but I'm at least 95% sure it did.
My wife was at Costco on Saturday.
Yeah, not
the shirt
Sunday.
that's in the flyer where it says optimism was on a Saturday. They were at BJ's on Sunday.
Okay. And
they were at Costco's on Saturday and BJ's on Sunday. Why do they need to go to these? He's not even staying at home. It's just her and Sebastian. These are like wholesale type stores that sell in bulk. And they went to one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Did I hear that right? I'm going to back it up 15 seconds. Let's listen to
I believe that you guys were at the Costco on Saturday. That's when you took the picture of him, correct?
Yes, my wife was at Costco on Saturday.
Yeah, not
the shirt
Sunday.
that's in the flyer where it says optimism was on a Saturday. They were at BJ's on Sunday.
Okay, and what
and when
is
it comes
that,
to
a restaurant or?
No, they are all wholesale, like a commissary style stores where they sell in bulk.
Oh, okay. So Costco Saturday, BJ's on Sunday.
That's a lot of bulk shopping.
All the samples and BJ's is new, so I took them.
You're a good mom.
And when it comes to like the one mentioned about Minecraft, like I stated before, he does not have any way to come with anybody on any form of online gaming. That is extremely restrictive. We don't allow that because of what can come of it.
They combed all of the electronics.
I can tell you this.
She keeps saying they combed all the electronics under her breath. They combed all the electronics. Can you guys hear that okay? Are you guys hearing all the words? They're not blurry or anything because I'm running you guys on my cell phone, but I'm running the sound through just the speakers on the laptop. I don't know about behind the store. Yeah, the one behind the house they drained. The one behind the store, I don't think, and it's not. It's in Gallatin. It's not. It's closer to his mom's house, not his house. It's the beach market, and I think it's only like a few minutes away from his mom. Okay, I have to ask this question 2 times. Trigger warning. Do you think Kay met? Do you think Kay met? By her comments, Sebastian can be anywhere, everywhere that he has been. Ooh. 2 military people. I could see where that could be a possibility. They have an appetite for a lot. You know, they're trained to have an appetite for a lot. You know, to deal with a lot. If they've been in active military, or active wartime or anything like that, then they definitely would have the experience and probably has seen, you know, some traumatic stuff. But I don't know their history in the military, so it's hard to think. But I get your point, Misty. It's anything. I thought about that because, you know, I watch a lot of, you know, stuff, and there's only so many ways you can kind of get rid of somebody. So it's always a possibility and always in the back of my head. Okay, good. The audio's good. Okay, so we'll continue.
with no hesitation, anything and everything we have given to the police and any other law enforcement to have them completely scan, uh, validate everything, and they are currently. I mean, everything is empty. I mean, they were like, "You guys are pretty good." I said, "Yes, sir. We don't believe in allowing the kids to communicate through social media."
Oh, he is saying their network stuff is empty. Let me go back to that. I don't know if that sounded interesting, but I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it. That sounded like they cleared electronics. Let's hear how that sounded again.
Restaurant or?
No, they are all wholesale, like a commissary style stores where they sell in bulk.
Oh, okay. So Costco Saturday, BJ's on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. 357. I'm aware of that. But
samples and BJ's is new, so I took them.
You're a good mom.
And when it comes to like the one mentioned about Minecraft, like I stated before, he does not have any way to come with anybody on any form of online gaming. That is extremely restrictive. We don't allow that because of what can come of it.
They combed all of the electronics.
I can tell you this with no hesitation.
She keeps saying they combed all the electronics. That's like the 4th or 5th time she said that. I think they erased electronics. I think they erased electronics. I'm going back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hicking up on here. I'm sorry, but she keeps saying something about these. They've combed through. This is like the 3rd time she said they combed through the electronics.
Like I stated before, he does not have any way to come with anybody on any form of online gaming. That is extremely restrictive. We don't allow that because of what can come of it.
They combed all of the electronics.
I can tell you this with no hesitation. Anything and everything we have given to the police and any other law enforcement to have them completely scan, validate everything, and they are currently. I mean, everything is empty. I mean, they were like, "You guys are pretty good." I said, "Yes, sir. We don't."
That doesn't sound normal because they would be on internet. Why would their stuff be completely empty? What? You're pretty good at keeping this clean. That's what the law enforcement told him. And he's like, yes, sir. Does any, I mean, I'm not trying to pick this apart, but that just seems, does that seem, am I overthinking this? Other detectives find deleted info in other states. So I'm wondering if these people are investigating Wells. I don't know. The Wells, something needs to happen in that case too. The same way the Stefan Stearns erased his phone. But doesn't it kind of sounds like that's why he's saying what he's saying. Like they keep talking about the electronics and being, and then now he's talking about them having a very clean internet. It's just weird for me. I mean, even if they don't let the kid on the internet, certainly they're adults. I mean, I can understand, like, you guys restrict, but you're not going to restrict yourself. You're not going to restrict yourself. Rebecca says, what better between you right now, you can say that he's acting really sweet and collected, and I have a gut bill and a third going down, could be wrong. That's my opinion. I didn't quite understand that, but thank you for sharing. I think maybe Chris has been monitoring Katie closely. Might be. People were talking about this potential affair thing that Katie might have been in. I tried to look at, fact find it, and I couldn't find any evidence of it, honestly. But I always said if there was cameras in that house, he was watching. He was watching. She learned all that in the middle. She might have. Misty says, I've always had that feeling that they wiped his device or they used family members' device to keep the evidence from being found. No, I'm not overthinking it. Okay, because it just the way like they're talking about the electronics, him getting the electronic devices, and somehow that triggered Katie to just basically state all their devices had not just Sebastian's. She didn't state something like, we were thinking maybe it was a possibility ourselves, but law enforcement checked it out and it's not a possibility. She didn't say something like that. She said, no, they checked all of our devices. And then Chris is right behind her saying, yeah, they couldn't believe how amazingly clean it was. I bet. Control freak. Yeah. In my opinion, I believe KP had hands in that since she knows electronics. Well, Pebbles, you've been to be honest with you, you've been spot on with a lot related to this case. So, she does have it. She's definitely got the electrical background, which is an amazing gift to have. I can tell you that. I don't know if you guys know, I'm not patting myself on the back or anything. But I can wire a house. Yes, I can. I've been on job sites. My father was a master electrician, and I literally grew up with a screwdriver and a frickin' razor knife in my hand, okay, and wire over my shoulder. I wish they had a little baby Betty. Can you imagine me with a little? I need to make a construction Betty, one with a little worker hat on it. Because I don't think I like the sweaty Betty for the construction Betty, okay? They got to have probable cause to get the data from the service providers, right? No evidence will prohibit Ellie from getting data from the... They'll have probable cause for that. I know that they've already ordered a lot of the data, forensic data. My problem isn't the forensic data. It's the actual physical, actual forensics of the house, But Katie's so, I wish they would have dusted the effing front door. I hope they dusted the front door. I pray to God they dusted the front door, because the front door is going to be key. Because they are so stinking clean. I guarantee that Katie wipes that door handle down several times a week. I almost put my money on it. That she wipes down that door handle, that front door handle, whether it's used or not. Because I'm just telling you, this is just something, she's too clean. She's almost got an OCD about her cleanliness. I'm telling you, I could sniff it out through the camera. And when I saw her the inside of her house, I knew what kind of woman I'm dealing with. And so I hope they dusted that, because if there were no prints on that door handle, because that is not a door that they're usually and customarily going in and out of. It is the garage door. That's where the car goes in. That's where the car goes out. They very rarely, unless people are coming over to their house and go up to the front door, they do not use that front door, just like many of you guys probably don't use your stinking front door. So, and people in the house will see the garage up, and normal people that come over regularly will know to go through the garage, not even go to the front door. So, again, coming back to, if they had dusted that front door, I guarantee they didn't pull prints. I almost bet my money on it that they did not pull prints if they dusted that. And that's what's pissing me off, because if they didn't dust that, they wouldn't have that critical evidence that they need. And I'm praying to God that they dusted the frickin' front door for fingerprints, because it'll prove whether or not he touched it. And I don't believe he did. I believe at best they'll have fingerprints on the front door, on the outside of the front door, because that's where a neighbor saw him go up to and touch that door handle when he got the mail. So I don't think that she would be wiping the front door handle off, the exterior portion of the door handle. So I do believe that they would have found his fingerprint on that, but not on the inside of him opening that door up. So I'm really, really interested in whether they got these fingerprints. But I think they did not do fingerprints. For whatever reason, I feel like they didn't do fingerprints.
Don't believe in allowing the kids to communicate through social media or through any type of gaming.
Looks like Missing in USA says, why are they wanting camera footage from Sunday afternoon?
Now, this is key. When we start having law enforcement, because usually when law enforcement goes in these missing person cases, we saw it in the Elijah Vu case too, where they're reported missing. Elijah Vu, for example, was reported missing on February 20th. However, as soon as law enforcement told the public that they're looking for all camera footage between February 12th to February 20th, we knew that they did not believe the story of the parents, and they were looking to find the movements of the parents to determine at what point the child went missing and was no longer seen again. When I hear that they pulled all the stuff that day, and when they stopped doing that and they wanted to pull it all the way back to the 20th, that was a key behavior of law enforcement that triggered something in me to pay close attention to the parents, because now we're learning that they're doing the same exact thing as the Two Rivers Police Department were doing for Elijah and Katrina. It's not Elijah, for Jesse and Katrina.
Because
that we cannot release right now.
Okay,
that is
I
not something
understand.
that has been authorized us to.
I bet you can't release it because it doesn't look good for you, Chris.
Right.
Put out to the public.
And we respect that 100%. Ginger Snap says, I was reading that his favorite song is Eye of the Tiger. That's a great song.
He's got an eclectic taste of music. He's a fan of Eddie Vedder. He likes
he's
Survivor.
great.
Oh yeah, I mean young man has a very eclectic taste in music.
And you told me that
Taylor
he
Swift,
loves to play chess.
Carrie Underwood.
And he loves to play chess,
He
right?
has a crush on Taylor Swift.
Ooh, he has a. Oh well, her boyfriend better watch out then. Was 911 allowed to be called? Rhonda asks.
On the cell phone, is that what she's referring to?
Yes, I believe so. Is that what you're asking,
All
Rhonda?
All devices that have communications have the ability to call 911. Believe it or not, most cell phones that are not even connected to service
He knew that.
have an ability to actually call 911.
So he's talking about, he knows that any phone, whether it's active or inactive, has the ability to call 911. They're specifically talking about the use of the emergency number 911. Let's listen to what he has to say, because this has been a contentious for a lot of my audience that have been wanting to know, why is he calling the dispatch, the non-emergency dispatch line versus 911, and he's explaining the 911 system here as if he knows everything about it. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, you could pick one up off the shelf at a store and most will call.
Yeah. That's become a federal thing. That's not a service provided. That is like a federal thing.
It's a federal
Right.
law.
And there's strict safety features, even if we could.
Yeah, safety is not restricted in this house.
So they own guns.
Okay, I do have one other question before I read what was his saying. There was something I was going to
Safety
ask.
is not restricted in this house. And he seems very prideful of that. So they could never have implied that somebody broke into the house, because that would go against his chink of armor. That's why we need to get Sebastian's law created for all future parents reporting minors missing, runaway. Ellie must immediately start collecting possible evidence from the parent. Absolutely. And you know what, Misty? This is the problem. Stuff like that should already be implemented. It shouldn't take an act of Congress to do the right thing by these cases. It shouldn't take, but that's the way it works. People don't realize, like normal people say, why don't they just do it? Because when it comes to government, you can't just do it. It has to be a process. You got to have this person approve this, to do this, to do this, to do this, and it has to come down the chain. It sucks. And it's a long, drawn-out process that takes years to finally accomplish. It sucks a little bit. It really does.
Ask you. Let's go ahead.
And you know what the bad part is? You know what Chris Proudfoot's Sebastian's Law would look like? Listen to this. The law enforcement must publicly clear all parents within 72 hours. What you bet that would be the sentiments of his bill. And we're talking about investigative, to keep our kids safe, and he's worried about self-preservation. I guarantee that would be what his bill looks like, because he's already made references like that.
And do was his question right now. Shackle Island Road and New Shackle Island Road, are they in the same area?
New Shackle Island Road runs parallel to Long Island. Old Shackle Island Road is actually farther directionally. It would actually be south, in front of the hospital, the Hendersonville Hospital. That is roughly, I think, 4 or 5 miles from our house.
So within the radius.
Okay. Single Mom, that's your favorite song too?
All right.
The platform. And I was very disappointed when you told me that people were harassing you and attacking you.
So nobody even heard of this case. We're at March 3rd. We're 6 days into the case, and he's already bitching about being harassed? By who? Nobody even knew this case existed. He has been streaming this song and dance of harassment since literally day one. Where's the proof? I don't believe it.
Is there anything that you want to put to rest while you're here tonight, or make clear to the public about this situation? I know you told me there was a statement that you wanted me to make about you and the mom and the dad. So if you want to make any clarification.
Good point. So Kelly says, coming up, listen, he had to be able to get online with what is said about Taylor Swift. They said he asks if he likes blonde hair boys or something on that line. Wow. Well, I think what it is that they know that there's no possibility. Even if he did listen to music, was he targeted by a predator? I don't think he was on there, even in the little limited restricted mode that he was on, to listen to this, that, or the other. And they may have downloaded all that stuff for him on like iTunes or something like that, where he really wasn't. But I don't know. They said that he doesn't have any apps, but a calculator, this app, that app, and that's it. But that could be because they know that there is no risk out there, and they had to have an excuse to wipe their servers or system. She is military, and she is trained in electronics and electrical wiring and everything electrical by the military. So this would be right up her alley, in my opinion. But what do we know? We don't know a whole lot. We only know that what they're saying doesn't make sense. And this first rendition of their story definitely does not bode with the most recent rendition of their story.
Clarification about that. You have free reign to do so. We will not allow you to be disrespected here on this platform.
I have no malice or ill intent toward anybody. Everybody has an opinion.
Of course.
But what is factual is that the father, the mother, and myself have been extremely cooperative. We have been vetted. We have been checked out. We have been questioned and everything of that nature, and literally have been cleared. There is no wrongdoing. There is no negative.
Well, Melinda, I haven't heard that yet. I know that they tried to say that they did hear there was a video with him on it, but nobody's ever been able to confirm it. And actually, everybody that even breathed it came under heavy fire. So we have 3 children missing here in Franklin, North Carolina. Can you please look into this for me? And send me the cases. Send me some links to them to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. And when I do another actual live on my desktop, then I'll spend a few minutes and put their faces up. But when I'm like this, it's hard to because it doesn't let me share crap. So. Extreme Warriors wasn't necessary. It says cheers for the fallen. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for everybody's service and the ones that have, like, I know a Gold Star family personally, and I gotta tell you, their strength is just admirable. You know, I mean, it really is.
Input from the parents or any of the family. You know, negative literally have been cleared. There is no wrongdoing. What is factual is that.
How do we pass that? Hold on.
About you and the mom and the dad. So if you want to make any clarification about that, you have free reign to do so. We will not allow you to be disrespected here on this platform.
I have no malice or ill intent toward anybody. Everybody has an opinion.
Of course.
But what is factual is that the father, the mother, and myself have been extremely cooperative. We have been vetted. We have been checked out. We have been questioned and everything of that nature, and literally have been cleared. There is no wrongdoing. There is.
So by day 6, he is already clearing himself, and yet we are here 3 months later, and law enforcement has made it very, very crystal clear that none of these parents have been cleared. Even though Seth is on a videotape at work. He ain't even been cleared. Even though they can see where he was at the exact times that Sebastian disappeared from. So how is this man cleared?
There's no negative input from the parents or any of the family. You know, it's hard for a lot of folks. I mean, I will be honest and say this out loud. I have a custody case that is currently going on in another state, which has been brought to public light because people feel that they want to judge and think that they understand what's currently going on, and they don't. Because of that, I'm being
harassing him now.
looked at in a very foul way. I don't need to repeat anything that's being said, but
right,
you know,
but
and
people
okay.
There's people that's probably seen it on social media, and I want you to be able to have the opportunity to defend yourself. We have 248 people.
I know, Kelly. She was at the house that morning because Seth said that Kathy Bowersox was there before Seth got there. Seth said that she was there when he arrived, so that leads me to believe that she would have been questioned by law enforcement. She would have been right there. They probably would have thoroughly questioned her that morning. But I find it a little odd that they hightailed it out of the state when more thorough questions would have most likely been coming their way because the change in the case.
People watching right now, and I'm sure that anyone that's watching this on the live stream, please respect this family. I mean, you can't have an idea of possibly what they are going through.
I will respect them. I've been ultra respectful. They just don't like what's coming out of my mouth respectfully. There's a difference. I am respecting them. They just want me to say what they want me to say, and I won't do that.
And it's really not any of your business what is going on. And I understand that you do see your other child, which, you know, and that doesn't have anything to do with Sebastian. And you guys are on good terms with his father. There's not like there's any custody battle between the mother and Sebastian's father. I mean, obviously, if he wants to see his father, you guys told me that, you know, you just planned to meet up, and it's, you know, it's no big deal. So I've read a couple of heinous things that people are saying, and it just really upsets me to know that people are just going to that without having all of the information and knowing that law enforcement has interviewed, interrogated everyone in your family. They have looked into you. They have all of your devices, and that they basically cleared you guys of any involvement in Sebastian's disappearance. And I just wanted the public to be able to hear you say that.
On March 3rd. Well, Chris, today is May 27th. It is Memorial Day 2024. 91 days since your stepson disappeared. And I can assure you, sir, you are not cleared.
Because you do have the right to defend yourself. Because it's not like you said earlier, it's not about you, it's about finding Sebastian.
Correct.
Yeah.
He chose to do this interview for self-preservation. He needed to get this out about his custody story. If he didn't get harassed, would she have this interview? If somebody wasn't talking about him or his very mild ego.
And I just don't want to have people to be dragging you around on social media. Isn't it already difficult enough that your child is missing?
That's beyond words. This is a feeling that I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't
I wouldn't
care.
wish this on
Nobody should ever have to endure. It is not something that should ever be wished upon for anyone.
What about your son?
Now, I do see Miranda. Miranda has a child that is special needs as well, and we've come here on my platform. So Miranda and how is his skills on walking around on heels or without a trail? Because my son would stumble if he had to step over a 1-inch rock or any form of incline. So, is he able to walk good? How is he able to navigate on his own? Is he able to walk good?
The unusual silence.
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Did I lose you guys? Can you hear me?
They don't know how to answer? No, they did not hear. Sorry. I'm gonna stretch my legs out. I don't know what's going on.
We'll give him a few minutes. Cut out over here to give them my son couldn't go to. Wow, just here he is.
Okay.
Chris, can you hear me now? I figured you might have lost signal.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll figure it out. We get it back every once in a while.
Okay. Yeah,
They were about to say where they were. So even at this point, I don't think they were at the house. He wouldn't say where they were, but it didn't sound like they were at the house because this happens at the house all the time. He didn't have that natural language, so they're someplace else when they're giving this interview.
Yep.
He's high functioning. He's fully able to hold a conversation, and he walks and he loves to run.
Okay, well that's good. And Rhonda wants to know if he has a special.
I guess my question is, and I think only the parents that understand this will be able to answer this. What is the difference? His father indicates that he and his mom earlier in this one talks about how his developmental issues, that his body is a 15-year-old body, but his insides are younger. His brain's younger. He acts like a younger child. Is that part of the autism, or is that a learning disability? Because they're like, he's high functioning on one hand and he can carry on conversations and do these things, but on the other hand, he is in an older body but a younger person. I guess it's both. Okay, I gotcha. Okay.
Special button on his phone?
No.
Hey, Cindy.
I don't.
Okay.
But he doesn't have his phone.
Yeah, and he left his phone at home, so he doesn't have it. His says, I'm local and I'm trying to get a direction. Thank you. And says something about exit 5. Are you guys close to exit 5?
No, well, that depends. You can access off of what they call Sure what you mean by that?
You know, her child was able to get around the
Oh, I
that's
can
kind
do
of
these
what they were
questions.
talking about. Understand some of the things that you maybe have, you know, be dealing with at this moment. I can only imagine what you're going through, not knowing where he is.
We, without publicizing our address, best I can tell you is we are off by the beach area, and that kind of area is where they've predominantly been focusing their searches.
Right.
When it comes to the special button, no. Just so some parents are aware, even if you lock down your child's phone, some children can actually turn their phone into safe mode, which would bypass the parental locks
Oh.
and then allow a child to go on the internet. There is a way to block that. You would have to look that up. That's too much in depth to go into. But no, I mean, when I say we're strict, we lock it down. We lock it down.
Okay, well that's good to know, David
So
Bryant.
they're
thank you so
adamant that
much.
he is not using the internet at their house. So, I mean, they've maintained that from the gate that they haven't. You know, maybe it could be a reason to explain to law enforcement why their stuff is so clean. I don't know, but that was an odd statement for him to make early on.
For being here. David says, hey, one question. Do you think he would have stuck to roads, or do you think he could have went off into the wooded areas?
That is that's hard to say. We don't really have an answer, but all I can say is,
how do you not have an answer? I got an answer. He would stick to the roads. Why? Because they have less bugs, less dirt, less things that's going to trigger him. He doesn't know whether he would go for the woods or the road. Is he so full of crap? Does he just not know Sebastian? I mean, hell, I've only known Sebastian for 3 months and I could answer that question in my sleep.
Every avenue is being searched, regardless of woods, roads, anything. Everything that can be searched is currently being searched.
Reckless Ellis, thank you for being here. Reckless Ellis says, I'm not saying he did this whatsoever, but I did see a screenshot from Facebook where he yelled at the news and told them to get off his property. Is there any truth to that? Well, Reckless, I'll let them speak for themselves, but if the news was on my property, I might yell at them to get off my property too.
When you're looking for a missing child?
So I have not spoke to any news crew that have been physically on my property. I have spoken to a news crew that was down the street and just asked them politely, do not film my house. They were.
So you got a missing child from your home, and you're demanding the news crews not to film your home when your child just went missing. You're thinking about a news crew's filming your home. Who the hell thinks like that? I have never in my life pulled up to a missing child and have been told, please don't, the parent come out and say, please don't film my house. Never once had that experience ever in my life. I bet you that news guy was like, what? I don't know. I'd walk outside and ask for their help. Hell yeah. Why didn't he go stand in front and say, God, you're here. Can you put me on screen? We need to find my stepson. We need to find my stepson. Can you put me on screen? Here, this is what he looks like. This is what I need you guys out there doing. This is what... Please don't film my house. What? These people, do they not realize how bad their behavior is? That the way that they're acting is like, we know they did it just by their behavior. Like, you can't fake this stuff.
Filming the police doing something, and that was perfectly okay. They gave me the word, we shook hands, and politely moved on. So, no, I mean, as far as yelling at the news, no.
Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that. I hope that helps, Reckless Ellis, and thank you so much for being here. Let's see.
This is up to day 6.
That's right,
All of
Leave
this
It to
happened
Beaver.
by
These
day
are real
6.
people. Focus on the missing baby. Exactly. Thank you for being here, Miss Chewy. It's so good to see you. That's right. We all know that the child is in danger and needs to be home where he's safe.
All right. Well, we're already over an hour, so I'm going to stop it there. It sounds like questions. I'll go through here and see if there's any questions that they answer that I find interesting. But I definitely recommend from the first half, not the first half an hour. If you go to Duchess, scroll in about 23 minutes, and that's when Chris gets on there. And it's from a half an hour from when Chris gets on there to where we are now, if you want to watch the entire thing yourself. But this was one of the first interviews. I'd like you guys to chop it up. What do you hear? What do you think is odd? What is calling out to you that just seems misplaced? Like Katie saying, them focusing on the electronics like they were is a problematic. The fact that their electronics were ultra clean, and how law enforcement was shocked at how clean it was. That's never anything I want to hear at all. So now that we know that, what else are you guys hearing in this video, in this interview? And we're going to do this. We've got another interview after this. So we'll spend the next couple days kind of dissecting this interview, and we'll go on to the next one. We're going to start monitoring and watching how their story has progressively changed from the beginning to where we are today. But we've already found several major things just in this 30 minutes that we've been covering on this channel. And so I recommend it. And send me what you find. Send me what you find. If you guys think of it, throw some timestamps out there. Maybe we'll go over them on a live and talk about them. If you guys have any other work that you guys have and you guys want to share, if you guys want to share it online, please let me know. I'm happy to do it. If you send me anything that you want me to share, if you would like me to use your name, please be sure to let me know that I've got your permission. I try to keep everybody, because some people are just weird. And I shouldn't say it like that. They're just weird for their privacy. So it's just one of those things. So I want to respect everybody's wishes. So if you do want me to let people know just your first name, or if you have a nickname you'd like me to use, just let me know. So make sure you do that in the actual email, because I'm not going to remember 200 people on here. All right, guys. Well, we'll keep going down this. This was some good information. I heard some things I didn't really like hearing in here, but it has kind of put some things into focus for me. And we still have another hour of this, a little under an hour of this left, and I don't know how much of it's just Q&A or what's in the Q&A, but I'm definitely going to be listening to it, and we'll come back here and finish it up probably a little later. I'm going to do some more work, and then once I get a few more hours of work in, we'll see where I'm at, where I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, and then if I'm feeling up to it, we'll come here. So, all right, guys, talk to you later, and God bless.